Welcome to the second video on chapter 1 of Jekyll and Hyde. I hope the first one was beneficial. Now in the second video I want to complete chapter 1 and then we will move on to chapter 2. Okay, so if you're following me in your own books, the line that I'm going to begin with is in chapter 1 and the line is, "He is not easy to describe." This is when Enfield is describing Hyde to Utterson. Let's begin. He says, "There is something wrong with his appearance." Like keyword, there is something. He can't quite put his finger on it. It's not that his eyes are weird or his nose is weird or his hands are weird. There's something wrong. He just gives a feeling that there's something up with him. He's not normal. Something displeasing. Now the word something has come up twice. It's been repeated, which emphasizes that he cannot pinpoint it. He's confused. He almost gets a bad feeling, but he can't justify this feeling. And it's repeated for a third time. Something downright detestable. There's something about him that I just hate. Now, I've never met anybody in my life who I hate for no reason. But what does Hyde do? Something downright detestable. There's something about him that makes you detest him, hate him. It's a very strong word, that is. Not a kind of, I don't like his hair or I don't like the clothes. No. I detest him. He absolutely hates him. I never saw a man I so disliked. Oof, this is getting deep here. Yeah, Enfield is saying he's never ever seen somebody who he hates so much. And yet I know not why. Yet I scarce know why. I don't know why I hate him. But there's something about me, something that he brings out, those dark, evil emotions inside me. And guys, from the very beginning, we clearly see that Hyde is not a positive character. Hyde is evil, Hyde is nasty. You name it, that's Hyde. He must be deformed somewhere. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Normally, if something or somebody is deformed, you can almost see it. He must be deformed somewhere gives the implication that his deformity may not be physical. Maybe there's something inside him that's a bit twisted, that's a bit strange. He gives a strong feeling of deformity, although I couldn't specify the point. He's an extraordinary looking man, and yet I really can name nothing out of the way. It's pure and utter confusion. Yeah, you've got opposite after opposite, you've got constant juxtaposition. I hate him, but I don't know why. That he's deformed, but he's not deformed. There's something wrong with him, but I don't know what the wrong thing is. Hyde has just caused such confusion, but it also emphasizes how he almost embodies this idea of being wrong. Now, I can't describe him, and it's not one to memory, for I declare I can see him this moment. Now, Mr. Utterson walked somewhere in silence and obviously under a weight of consideration. You are sure he used a key? So he's asking, how did Hyde get into the house? Yeah, how did Hyde get into that door? And he says, yes, he had a key. Now, Utterson makes it clear that he knows whose house he's going to. His friend Jekyll's. And he says to Enfield that be careful what you say, because I know whose house it is. So whatever you say will implicate my friend. And what do they agree? And this gives the idea, guys, that the rich stick up for the rich and they don't speak out against each other. The chapter ends by Enfield saying, "I am ashamed of my long tongue. Let us make a bargain never to refer to this again." When it was just Hyde and the girl, they were happily talking about it. But when Jekyll gets involved, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to gossip. They don't want to say anything about their friend, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. And guys, from the very beginning, you get the idea that the rich cover the backs of the rich. There's a bizarre loyalty. Their loyalty is not based upon morality, where if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. They cover each other up no matter what happens. Now, I know this is a different text, but the same thing in Inspector Calls. Yeah, Mr. Burling feels as though that just because they're family, they should cover each other's backs. Forget what wrong they do, forget what right they do. They should simply cover each other up. And that's the end of the chapter. Now, there's two important things that I want you to think about in this chapter. This chapter looks at the first impression of Hyde and what he does, and how other characters respond to him. And you know what, you can add a third thing. We learn our initial impressions of the character of Utterson. And the chapter ends with the story being finished, and they agree to never talk about it ever again. But chapter 2 begins with the search for Mr. Hyde. So we know that Utterson is not going to drop it. Utterson is now lured in. What is he lured in by? Do you know, we have this tendency where we have that voice in our head telling us to do bad. And it draws you. And unless you're strong, you can't fight it. It almost reminds me of that. Utterson is lured in by the evil curiosity of Hyde. He wants to know more, but he's not sure what he wants to know. And therefore he goes searching for something, but he doesn't know what he's searching for. He is searching for Hyde, but all he knows of Hyde is that Hyde is evil. And that's where the second chapter begins. And I will stop this video here because we've covered chapter 1, we've covered chapter 2. Now we are only touching upon key things. If you have any questions about anything that I haven't touched upon, drop it in the comments and I'll make sure I reply. So if there's any particular line, any particular quote that you want me to cover, feel free, go for it. I hope it benefits you. Guys, girls, thank you as always. The next video we'll go over chapter 2, Search for Mr. Hyde, and we'll carry on doing that. Thank you.